Imagine this. Your boss just dumped a last-minute project on you at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday. Your heart starts racing, your jaw clenches, and you feel that familiar surge of anger building up inside. But instead of snapping back or storming out, you take a breath, pause for 3 seconds, and calmly say, "Let me see what I can prioritize to make this work." That's emotional regulation in action. That moment right there, most people would have reacted without thinking. But someone with strong emotional intelligence does something different. They regulate. In this video, we're breaking down what emotional regulation actually looks like in real life. Not the textbook stuff, but the real moments where it can change your career, your relationships, and your peace of mind. So what is emotional regulation? It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Emotional regulation is your ability to recognize what you're feeling, understand why you're feeling it, and then choose how to respond instead of just reacting automatically. Think of it like this. Emotions are information. They're telling you something important. But emotional regulation is what helps you decide what to do with that information. It's the difference between emotion control and being controlled by your emotions. When you master emotional self-regulation, you're not a robot without feelings. You're someone who can feel deeply but still think clearly when it matters most. At work, let's say you're in a meeting and a coworker takes credit for your idea. Without emotional regulation, you might interrupt them, call them out publicly, or just sit there fuming while your stress response goes through the roof. But with emotional regulation, you notice the anger rising. You acknowledge it. You think, "This is frustrating, but blowing up right now won't help me." You might make a mental note to talk to them privately later, or calmly speak up and say, "Actually, I'd like to add to that idea since I brought it up in our planning session." In relationships, here's another example. Your partner comes home stressed and snaps at you about dishes in the sink. Your first instinct might be to snap back or get defensive. But emotional regulation helps you pause and think, they're probably not really mad about dishes. Something else is going on. So instead of escalating, you might say, "Sounds like you had a rough day. Want to talk about it?" This is how you manage emotional triggers and stay calm under pressure. Managing overreaction. The key is catching yourself before you react. People with good emotional regulation have this little pause button. They feel the emotion, they recognize it, but they don't immediately act on it. They create space between the feeling and the response. Better relationships. When you can regulate your emotions, your relationships improve dramatically. You stop having those fights that escalate over nothing. Think about it. When your friend is going through a breakup, do you want to talk to someone who's going to make it all about their own drama? Or do you want someone who can actually listen and be there for you? That's what happens when you get good at this stuff. Career success. This changes everything. You become that person who doesn't lose it when a client is being impossible or when your coworker throws you under the bus in a meeting. People notice that. Managers notice that. You're not walking around stressed out all the time, and honestly, that makes you way more valuable. Inner peace. But here's what really gets me excited about emotional regulation. It's not just about other people. It's about how you feel when you go to bed at night. You know that feeling when you've handled something well instead of flying off the handle? That quiet confidence that builds up when you realize you can trust yourself not to make things worse? That's what we're really talking about here. You're still going to feel everything. You're still going to get angry and frustrated and hurt. But you're not going to be that person who says things they regret or makes decisions when they're all worked up. The pause practice. Okay, so how do you actually start doing this? The easiest thing I've found is just hitting pause. When you feel a strong emotion, especially anger or frustration, give yourself 3 seconds before you respond. 3 seconds to ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? And what response would actually help this situation? Name it to tame it. Another powerful technique is simply naming your emotions out loud or in your head. I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I'm frustrated because I feel unheard. When you can name what you're feeling, you automatically create some distance from it. Check your body. Pay attention to how emotions show up in your body. Tight shoulders, clenched jaw, racing heart. Your body often knows you're getting triggered before your mind does. Use these physical signals as your early warning system. Look, emotional regulation isn't something you master overnight. It's a skill you build over time, and honestly, it's one of the most valuable things you can develop for your mental health and your relationships. If you want to dive deeper into this topic, I've got a detailed post that breaks down specific techniques you can use in different situations. The link is in the description below. And if this video helped you understand emotional regulation better, hit that like button and let me know in the comments about a time when you wish you had better emotion control. What situation do you struggle with most when it comes to handling feelings? Work stress? Family drama? Let me know, and I might make a video specifically about that scenario. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we're talking about how to stay calm when people push your buttons. You won't want to miss it.